Hi, welcome back. Let's talk luggage. I don't know if you're like me, but I am an avid overpacker. I have tried going the minimalist route. I've watched all the videos because I get a lot of enjoyment out of watching packing videos and airport security videos. I'm weird, it's fine. I have tried doing the minimalist thing and I realize I get cranky if I have the exact amount of outfits that I need for any given trip. I like having options. That's just who I am and I've embraced it and it's fine. But for me, when I'm packing for book conventions, I try to be a little more careful because I want to make sure I have enough room for extra books on the way home. So it changes the way I pack a little bit, but not as much as I would like, even though I've tried. So what I first do is I found the biggest suitcase that I could. I went to just like TJ Maxx or Ross or something like that and found this massive bright pink suitcase that fits my book cart, so that way I don't have to worry about whether or not I have to figure out a way to get it on the airplane. It's just there and it's done. And then I take one of my mini lists, because you know I have one, that has all of the books that I'm hoping to bring to have signed, and then I put them all in my suitcase along with my toiletries and my luggage scale, my drink carrier, and if I can, all of my trades that I'm planning on bringing, but those will be the first thing that I pull if I'm overweight. I put them all in and then I would weigh my bag and then make adjustments as needed. And then once I got that at weight and I was good and had all the books that I wanted, then I packed my carry-on suitcase and I put all of my clothes and shoes and everything that I was gonna need that were non-book things in there, and tried to take up as little space as I could, so that way I could potentially use that suitcase for books because it's harder edged than like a duffel bag or something like that. And then I have a duffel bag that folds up to about this size that I throw in my suitcase, so that way if I need it, I have it, because I made the mistake of not having that when I went to a Polycon last year. And I sat on the floor for a very long time trying to figure out how I was going to get all the books that I purchased home, and it was very stressful and I did not enjoy that. So lesson learned, and here we are. So I bring that duffel bag with me and I have it if I need it, and that's great. Then I also have my carry-on backpack, and I'll bring a purse, but I usually just put it in my backpack because I don't need it when I'm at the airport. And then I don't pack that very full either. That way I can use the available space on the way home. Then I pack up my pink suitcase, which should be pretty easy because I already know how many books will fit in there and make weight because they're the same ones that I brought with me on the way here, or to the event. And then I move all of my clothing items and shoes and all of that, and toiletries if I can, into my duffel bag, because it doesn't need to be protected and it's fine. And then I put all of my other books into my pink carry-on suitcase. So then that way the edges are protected a little bit better than if they were in a duffel bag. And then if I need to, then I can put stuff also in my backpack. And then I check my big pink suitcase and the duffel bag when I get to the airport. So I know going into it that I'm gonna check one bag going to the event and then 2 check bags on the way back, so that way you can budget for airline fees for your baggage. But then I can fit a lot of books in my small pink carry-on suitcase, because the weight doesn't matter as much, except for when you're trying to put it in the overhead bin. But a lot of times, especially if it's a popular flight time, you'll be able to gate check your carry-on bag, which I'm always the first in line to do that because it's going to the same place. I'm gonna have to pick up my luggage anyway, so it doesn't make a difference to me. And my books are protected because they're in a harder case shell for my suitcase. And then if I need any other room to put any other books or anything else, then I can put those in my backpack. And then it's all good. But I think planning for the inevitability that you are going to purchase books and other things that you weren't planning. That one was planned though, because it's a tiara, is important. So that way you're not struggling the night before your flight home and freaking out trying to figure out how you're going to be able to get everything home. Just when you're packing, think about the amount of books that you have pre-ordered so you kind of have an idea of how many extra books you're already going to have. And then when you're walking around and seeing books that you really want to buy, making sure mentally that you have the space to actually get them home. There were a lot of books that I wanted to purchase, but I knew I didn't have any more space and had to wait until I came home to buy them. But it's totally worth it anyways. But that was just something that I learned from my first book convention that had me stressed out on the floor, wanting to cry because it just didn't seem like it was going to be possible to get it. And luckily, the agent at the gate when I was checking in my luggage was very kind, even though it was slightly overweight. She still let it slide, and so that worked out. But then I was able to prep for the next one, and I didn't have any issues. I was able to fit everything in perfectly and had exactly the amount of space that I needed. And so that made packing the night before my flight home so much easier, and I wasn't stressed at all. So I hope that that helps, and that the next time you go to a book convention, that these little tips and tricks help you to have a stress-free night before you come home.